no submit.
Hey! Yes! Bannange bintu bikolera ddala bannaye obugayaavu kibi. Omanyi obugayaavu bukuza muti bannange weebale Dangote bannange omponyeza. Omanyi ebintu byange bingi byowonyeza okubbibwa. Nzizeyo mu URA mbalage nti njirina.
Okubeera ne tini namba kikuyamba mu bintu bingi nnyo okugeza mu kusuubula n'okusuubuza eby'emiguzi mu Uganda ne wabweru wa Uganda, okuddizibwa ensimbi okuva ku misolo gy'ozosasula, okufuna looni mu banka ez'enjawulo, okufuna layisinsi okuva mu government agencies zonna, okuwandiisa emmotoka yo n'okugula oba okutunda ettaka.
URA tukulaakulanyize wamu Uganda.
The new and simple IFRIS mobile app is here. You can now manage your stock and issue fiscalized invoices and receipts at the tap of your finger. Simply go to the Google Play or Apple Store, search for the IFRIS app, download and install it, log in with your TIN and password, and you're good to go. The IFRIS mobile app is here to make invoicing and receipting easy. Download now.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
URA sinaba kusasula msolo Janet. Leta basa je nakuwa. Bannange sinasasula URA.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Jacqueline Emodek from the Uganda Revenue Authority, and this is the Customs 101. This morning, we shall be discussing a topic on understanding the new licensing requirements for customs clearing agents. Today in studio, I'm joined by a team of experts, two ladies, Judith Sechito and Evelyn Cole from the refunds and reconciliation section under the trade division. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Okay, so we shall dive into it because our time is already spent. We shall start from the beginning. Who is a licensed customs clearing agent? I'll send this to Evelyn.
Thank you so much, Jackie. A licensed customs clearing agent is a person or a company that has been authorized by Uganda Revenue Authority, Customs Department, to carry on the business of clearing and forwarding on behalf of importers and exporters. Section 145 of the East African Community Customs Management Act of 2004 mandates Commissioner Customs to license, to revoke, to suspend, clearing agent, and issue a license, clear customs agent's license. So it's under that mandate that we license customs agents and the regulations they are under. Yes. So in summary, these are persons, can be a company. Usually for Uganda, it's a company that has been authorized to do clearing business on behalf of importers and exporters. Yes, and that mandate will derive from the IACMA, which is a short form of the act.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Evelyn, for that. And with your definition and the clarification on where they draw the authority from, what role do they play in customs clearance and in customs data?
Thank you so much. Customs agents play a very crucial role in customs clearance and facilitation of trade. And as their role speaks, clearing and forwarding on behalf of customers. In customs, we deal with so many diverse and various individuals who may not understand our processes. So one of the roles they play is they inform the clients, importers or exporters of our customs processes and documentation, and they help capture make declaration on behalf of the clients. They have access to the system. Once we license clearing agents, we give them access to the system. The one well known is a SCUDA, single window. So they help the clients in capturing this data in the system and also declaring to customs. They are intermediaries. They are middlemen between us customs and the public who are intending to import or export. So they are aware of our processes, they are aware of the documentations we require for this. So their role really in international trade is very crucial because they provide the professionalism and the expertise that is required that the clients or the importers or exporters may not be aware of. They are also knowledgeable about where they can get our services. For example, they know where Nakawa is. When you talk about document processing center, they will be aware of it, which a lay person in Chikubo or in different who's growing this coffee may not be aware of. They also help facilitate trade. They help educate customs who can't reach everywhere, but these people, they act like our feet and our hands. They are everywhere. They speak on our behalf as they market. And as they market, we also know that they are bonded.
Yeah.
So there are some facilities that can help importers and exporters move their goods or store their goods just in case they are unable. Those are bond securities. So they have these facilities. So every client may not be able to execute the bond or that every time you're importing. So they have these facilities and they provide them to the clients on our behalf. So that is mainly their role. So they act as, and also custom security, because we control them and license them.
Yes.
So, and they are uploaded in the URA portal. So anyone who wants them, they can go and identify the list is in the URA portal. So because of that, our importers and our prospective exporters are protected because at least we can locate them. We know where they are, we know who they are. So they also provide security for our clients. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I would say in summary.
Okay, thank you very much, Evelyn, for shining a light on the role of the customs clearing agent. So, Judith, I'm going to throw this to you. Why is it important to deal with a licensed customs clearing agent?
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Why it's important to deal with a licensed clearing agent? We have heard that an agent is an intermediary between the importers and exporters and customs. And one of the reasons why it's important is because they are legally binding. They are compliant. According to the IACMA, section 145 to 148, they are impelled to be issued a license by customs, and for this reason, they have to comply with the provisions of the law. So it is important that since they are recognized by law, once they go to the importers or the exporters, they are given assurance that they will act on behalf of customs. These agents are professionals. They are professionals in that they are trained, they are vetted by URA. They have training in the East Africa Customs Freight Forwarding Practicing course. They know, they have handled many on-job trainings which are offered by customs. So they know the requirements, they know the different processes that are in customs. And these processes can be given out to the importers and exporters in real time. Another is efficiency. Remember, our clients require their goods in real time. So because of this, the agents know the processes. They know where to go for whatever particular goods. If it is transit, if it is home consumption, if the goods are to be to put in a bonded warehouse, they know the fastest means to handle these declarations, which is different if there was no agent. The client would have to first come, look for a bonded warehouse, maybe find out how to make a declaration. So this improves the efficiency and the clearance times in clearing goods and imported goods and exported goods. These clearing agents are accountable to customs. Many of them are bonded. They have taken out bond securities. And this means that at a particular time, we are able to follow them up such that there are no outstandings or offenses. So they are bound by these guarantees to ensure that they comply with the regulations and the laws that customs has put in place. They help a lot with collection of data. Because of their declarations, we are able to know the transits, the goods that come through the country. We are able to know how much taxes have been collected. So clearing firms handle a big role in this area because they constantly put in their declarations, and now customs is able to get all this information and gather it together and help with passing on to the relevant stakeholders who need the information. And lastly, integrity, data integrity. We know that the passwords are given to these clearing firms after they have been vetted, after they have done competence tests. So they are liable for each transaction that they put into the system. So we know that we are able to hold them accountable in case there are lapses in integrity or for non-compliance. And so for this reason, these are some of the objectives and why it is important to deal with the agents, because the importer is assured that we will be able to follow up their goods in case of any non-compliance or maybe in case of any lapse during the system, the transit, the goods, movement of goods. So that is why it is important for our stakeholders to deal with these licensed clearing firms. Thank you, Jackie.
Okay, thank you so much, Judith, for that explanation. And so we go to the heart of today's conversation, which is what are the current requirements for one to become a licensed customs clearing agent. And I'm going to give this to Evelyn to start this conversation.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Clearing agents are managed under the East African Community Customs Management Act 2004, and specifically we go to section 145, like I mentioned earlier, and there are regulations of the same East African Community Customs Management Regulations of 2010. They provide guidelines and legal requirements for management of and conditions for a person to be licensed as a clearing agent. For the person to be managed as a clearing agent. So customs department or commissioner customs has both legal requirements and administrative requirements. So I'm going to mention the legal requirements, and then Judith will go through the administrative requirements. So if you read the sections of the law that have said and the regulations they are under, you will find that they are required to submit a form that is called C20 upon payment of a $50 fee. This $50 fee application fee is provided for under the law. So they duly fill that form, which is an electronic form, and it's under single window. They already will share the link. So they fill this form online and pay an application fee of $50. The law also requires that they must have an office and equipment. You know, customs businesses, all processes right now are automated. So you cannot run away with computers, you cannot run away with printers, you cannot run away with scanning, do away with scanning services. And for them to be able to provide efficient and fast clearance time for their clients, they will need to have an office and equipment to support their work, the work they are going to do with the clearing for the importers, on behalf of the importers and exporters. So they'll be required to have an office, and they also be required to file returns, annual returns with URSB. You know, many companies were struck off because of the amendment of the laws regarding companies. So these annual returns filed with Uganda Registration Services Bureau assure us that the companies we are dealing with are existing. Yeah, so they'll be required to at least file with us the latest they have. And then we also require their location. Remember, we talked about compliance, so we need to know where they are located, their addresses, how do we contact them. This involves email, telephone contacts for the directors, and even for offices. They will be required to have a company team, because that's our identity. And then the recent amendment recently said they can now use the URSB number. But for now, we still need a company's team, which is our identity. So we also need national IDs for both the staff and the directors. This is for accountability. We need to know these people. And currently, national IDs have provided a very good link between us with our people. And we also need, for non-nationals, they need to provide us with work permits. You know the law in Uganda. You cannot work in Uganda if you're not permitted. So a work permit for a non-national would be the one that will permit them to work. So that is very necessary. And passports for them. So a work permit and a copy of the passport. And then for members who are EAC, East African Community Nationals, there is EAC community where there is free movement of labor. Yes, so for that we only require copies of their passports to attach for their staff and directors, because we have companies that are owned by Kenyans, Tanzanians, and different Congolese. So for them, we require passports, copies of their passports. And then these days we are getting also refugees coming on board. Yes, because we have people who are legally refugees, so they put in their refugee cards. We recognize them. And so the applicant also must be compliant. Customs does not work in isolation. We work as a team. And that's why I know management is trying to integrate the system. The system even are trying to be integrated. So in this, we require a tax clearance certificate from DT. This is to help the other department from making sure that the staff and the directors we are dealing with are compliant. So the tax clearance certificate, it's a must. And I hear they are checked. They check both the directors and the staff before they are issued this. So in this, we are helping the domestic department from collecting. We also require them to have a headed paper, headed letter. The headed letter when they are writing to us, they should show that they are professional. When we try to talk about professionalism, it's the way you display yourself, the way you put out your business as a company. So we require them to provide us with stamps and headed papers with all their addresses on it. Those will be attached among the documents. We also emphasize that because we've been having issues with mutation of companies, like people, you find that companies are owned by the same individual who are different. So, and sometimes this encourages fraud. So we are emphasizing on the requirement that shareholders and directors must not have interest in more than one company. So they should only have one interest in one company. So you cannot be in Siva and also have your small business or a small company somewhere. So you must focus all your mind and business to one company. This is mainly to deal with fraud. Yes. And then also we require bank accounts for these companies. So bank account, bank name, and a branch. This is in case of agency notices or, compliance issues still. And then passport photos, the recent, not baby photos, but recent passport photos for staff and directors. And they must be notarized by the notary public, commission of oath. So this we require from them. Reason being, we need to really know the identity of these people, because when the importers come to us, when they are pleased with their money, at least we can identify those that we have licensed and those that are ours. You understand?
I understand.
So, and also, of course, like I said, all the passport photos must be notarized within the last 6 months. Just make sure that you're still the same person. Yes. So, Judith, would you like to be the next?
Great. Okay, yes. Thank you, Evelyn, and thank you, Jackie. When we are continuing about the requirements and the conditions, when we're talking about the employees, we require that at least a minimum of 2 employees in the company should have a certificate in customs clearing and forwarding. And this is to encourage professionalism in the industry. Yes, and for those, maybe there are some who have other certificates. We have an East African certificate training course, practicing course in clearing and forwarding, which they can subscribe to and get this. So much as we can consider their certificate, it is a requirement for them to get a password. They need to have a certificate in clearing and forwarding. And then it will also be a requirement for the applicant to have undertaken at least 2 compulsory continuous professional development courses, trainings in a year. So beginning next year, the clearing agents, the declarants, are required to have at least 2 compulsory professional courses which they take. This will be offered by the association in liaison with customs. And they can log into the system. They will be given the requirements and how to do it. And through the year, they can, just a minimum of 2. They can take as many as they need, as long as they're advertised, but at least a minimum of 2. And then for the company, it should have a valid tenancy agreement. I mean, we should know where the office is located. So we need to know, have a tenancy agreement, and this one will give details of the landlord, the rent paid per month, the termination date of the tenancy, and this is just to alert us on where their offices are located in case of compliance issues, or in case we need to find them for reasons, customs needs them for one reason or the other. So in case they own the land, then they can attach a land title or proof of ownership of their premises. And then another requirement is that any company involved in fraudulent activities will not be licensed. And it shall have its license suspended, revoked during the year, or denied at the time of licensing. So it is important that the clearing agents clear out all their offenses, all their outstandings, because as per the licensing requirements, they are not supposed to have ongoing offenses which have not been cleared. So no company shall be considered with outstanding transactions dating as far back as 30th June 2025. So we request these clearing firms to ensure that they go to the offices of operation and clear out any pending transactions which have not been cleared. They have to be affiliated with the Clearing and Forwarding Association. Yeah, we have the associations. They know the associations that are in the society. So let them be affiliated. Let them both subscribe. And then on the license application, they attach their membership certificate. And companies that were licensed in 2025 but have not made any declaration in ASCUDA will not be licensed for the year 2026. So this is just to clean up the database that we have, because we have many companies that subscribe, but few, at times maybe because of whatever situations they're going through, they are unable to make declarations, or maybe it was not a good investment or any. So because of cleaning up of this database, companies that don't have any transactions for the past year will not be licensed for the next year. Another requirement is that companies that have recorded more than 10 offenses from July 2024 to June 2025 do not qualify for licensing of 2026 for this coming year. So clearing firms are requested to ensure that all the offenses are cleared off, because once they are pending offenses in the system, they are not going to be issued with a customs agency license. Companies that have cleared cargo worth customs value of 1 billion and above will be considered for licensing of the next year. And this is an exception. There are AEOs, and those who handle exports will be exempted from this rule. And as we are saying, we are looking at compliance. We are looking at cleaning up the database. We're looking at professionalizing the industry such that the companies that are in the system are those that are handling transactions. They are those that do not have offenses, not involved in fraud, such that the importers and exporters and those people out there in the community are comfortable with dealing with the companies that are licensed by URA. It will be a requirement this year that companies have to be registered for EFRIS. So the business operating agencies are required to use this system, which is authenticated by URA. So companies will have to show proof that they have been registered for EFRIS. And a final one, that there will be no new companies considered for the customs agency license of next year. This is an administrative decision, and but also I think it is also to enhance the compliance of the clearing fraternity. Finally, once a company has gone through the application, if they have attached whatever documents in the system, remember the system they use is the single window and the single transactions portal. They use their TINs and passwords to log in. You put all this information. After paying the application fee of $50, they will be required to pay a licensing fee of $400, after which they will be issued with a license. Yeah, thank you, Jack.
Okay, thank you very much, Judith. So you have it. The underscored items here are professionalizing the clearing and forwarding industry, curbing fraud, and to ensure we have authentic data. Now, as Judith was speaking, there were some changes mentioned. We had IFRIS. And so, Evelyn, I'd like you to shine a light on more of the changes in these requirements for this financial year and why those changes, what do they seek to achieve?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Jackie. As you heard from our submission, this year we have five
Yes.
really serious new requirements, and they are mainly administrative.
Yes.
That they've been put on board to help us with the management of customs clearing agents. And one of them, like you already emphasized on, is IFRIS.
Yes.
Yes, you know what is happening. The wave.
Yes.
That is, people are closing shops because of this, but this is something we cannot hide from. It's a system that will help us collect, especially these are business people. Customs clearing or clearing of goods under international trade. It's like any other business. You need registration. So we want to make sure that they can give clients invoices, e-receipts and invoices. And of course that data, you know, how it helps communicate, bring the data to customs directly. So it's mainly, the objective is mainly to help with the registration of businesses, just like any other business. So we want to bring in, to professionalize the clearing profession. We want to bring them, they should be registered, and they should be registered as under IFRIS, just like any other business, just like people in Chipubo, just like people who are owning hardwares. Yeah, we are just bringing them. It's just a registration as a necessary requirement, and that's the wave at the moment, and we can't run away from it. Yes. So okay. That one I think is self-explanatory. Yes. So I call upon our directors and the owners, our shareholders, kindly get registered for IFRIS. It's for our good. It's for the good of your business, and of course it's to improve compliance and to make sure that we pay the right taxes. Yes. So there is really nothing much to say on that apart from that. Yeah. And then also we have this declaration. Like companies that were licensed, you were licensed for 2025, but you did not make any declaration. Definitely means that you have no business in clearing and forwarding. You know, we monitor clearing agents on quarterly basis. So it's funny to have 780 licensed clearing agents and you only have 100 making any declaration. So we want to make sure that we are dealing with the people who actually have the business in this trade or in this angle or department. I don't know how to call it. So that's why we are trying to take off those ones who have not made declarations. And I know there's going to be an outcry, but that is the position at the moment, and management is standing on it. Yes. So if you didn't make any declaration, you will not be licensed. But we encourage mergers. You know, we can merge so that you beef up your business. You may not have the business, your friend may be having the business. Merge together, provide the expertise, and remember, we are going global.
Yes.
So we need to be competitive. Yes. So I believe that is the advantage behind it. Yes. And also another new requirement, which is administrative, is the companies that have recorded 10 offenses. 10 offenses minimum and upwards.
Okay.
You will not be licensed for 2026. This is mainly because we are going compliance.
Yes.
We are promoting compliance, we are promoting professionalism for our clearing fraternity, not only for them, even in URA, that is integrity, is the language, zero tolerance to any form of So we want to make sure that we are presenting the right people to the public, to the importers and exporters, or prospective importers and exporters. So that's why this year we are very strict. If you're involved in any fraudulent activity or you have offenses that are more than 10, maybe it speaks something to who you are. You understand? If you have 1 or 2, maybe it's an accident, but then if it's 10, in a span of 12 months, I believe it's something that should highlight our antennas as customs. And we have a duty to the public. Because when we put you as a licensed company, we are telling the public, we are telling Ugandans that you can trust this person, you can trust this company. And if you're involved in just a year 10, that is worrying. And that's why we are saying no this year. And we are serious about it.
Thank you.
Anyway, we also have, if companies have not cleared cargo worth 1 billion, we ran a data analysis and we realized that much as we have so many clearing firms, very few actually do business. So we really, like my colleague Judith said, we really need to clean up the database and make sure that we do people. And if, like I said earlier, if you're small, think about emerging with other slightly bigger companies so that you can attract more business. And yes, so that's what we are. But this is with the exception of AEOs. AEOs are excluded.
When you say AEO, what is AEO?
AEOs, these are authorized economic operators. And we have a memorandum with AEOs.
Yes.
And the reason they are called AEOs because they underwent certain vetting to attain that status. And mainly it has to do with compliance. So there are some things that, because of the memorandum between URA and AEOs, they are excluded from. So I call upon the rest who want to enjoy such privileges, they should enjoy and apply to be AEOs. Yes. And then, of course, this year, no new companies are allowed. And we've already gotten a lot of people asking why and why.
Even here, the main question is why.
Okay. Mainly, I believe the position may be different in the next year or coming year, but it's mainly to do with clearing the database. We want to first make sure that those we are dealing with the right people. So we are saying, let's tone down. We have 800, majority are not making any declarations. So let's first deal and clean up with this. Look, we want to professionalize the customs clearing fraternity. We want to present a team or companies that are credible and that are good at what we are doing. That's why even we are developing continuous professional development courses for them, which will be started next year. So this is mainly to professionalize and to improve their reputation and to prove their reputation. This is mainly because we are accountable.
to Ugandans and to prospective importers and exporters.
Yeah.
Yes, so this year, but kindly bear with us. There will be no new companies allowed as per now. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So those are the 5.
Okay. Thank you very much, Evelyn, for highlighting those 5 contentious but very important changes to the requirements needed for the licensing of the customs clearing agent. Now, after going through this long list of requirements, Judith, kindly explain to us what happens when one abuses their customs agency license.
Thank you, Jackie. When a clearing firm abuses their customs agency license, one of the already this is against the legal provisions, against section 145 to 148. So already in the customs system, many times this company will be suspended as investigations go along, find out what is the cause of this fraudulent activity, what have they done wrong. I mean, maybe taxes have not been collected, or maybe the transit goods did not reach their destination. Whatever way in which this clearing agent has breached the contract of the license, they're in the system, in the customs systems, they will be suspended, and they'll be handed over maybe to the compliance units or intelligence units to find out what is the cause of this breach that has gone on. And if it is confirmed that fraud actually took place, maybe taxes were not collected, or consignments were dumped or something like that, then they can have their license revoked, meaning they will not be able to apply for a license, or they'll not be able to use their license for the rest of the year, because the license has been revoked. It will be deactivated from the system. And also the directors of these companies will not be able to make declarations in the system. So these are some of the activities that will happen to a company which has abused their license. And then maybe also Evelyn can give us some of the legal proceedings that we can take on from there, because definitely there are more proceedings that happen once a company abuses their license.
Okay, Evelyn, take it away.
Like you said, when you abuse the conditions for your license, section 145 deals with you. It says your license can be revoked, like permanently revoked. You can lose your license too, can be suspended, maybe pending, like I said, pending investigations. Maybe like you said, you may not be allowed to ever apply again for a license. However, there are also provisions under YACMA where you can be prosecuted, especially if you're dealing with fraudulent activities. You can be prosecuted. So if you're doing anything that is illegal, like even misdeclarations, they are illegal, they are fines.
Yes.
Also, you can be fined, and there are very heavy penalties under the YACMA that commissioner is allowed to pull out in case of abuse of the conditions of the license. So all these, and even go to prison. When you're prosecuted, you can go to prison. So it's really discourage people from going against the conditions of the license. Let's be professional. This is our livelihood. Some of you did courses to deal with clearing and forwarding, and you invested heavily. So let's guard this. Let's guard our profession so that we avoid all these other things. And remember, we are now not allowing them to have more than. So we are trying to fight mutation.
Yes.
So you may not be able to start up another company. We are integrating. We are going to integrate with URSB. We are going to integrate with NIRA with time. So you will not run away. So you will get a permanent ban, because you can't change your national name.
Yes.
You can't change your name.
Yeah.
So you will be good. So to avoid all these inconveniences, it's really better that we abide by the conditions of the license.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. There you have it. It is very important that you abide with the conditions for the customs clearing license. And so I would like to go to the audience and share some of the questions that they have sent in. Rogers Mutuhaire says, panelists, thanks for the presentation. I'm inquiring about, he has two concerns. Does a holding company with many subsidiaries qualify to be licensed? A holding company, a company with many subsidiaries, does it qualify to be licensed?
Okay.
Yes.
Subsidiaries, what would they subsidiaries? Would they be related to clearing? Subsidiaries means branches.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So he's inquiring if such a company qualifies to be licensed. And then his other concern is about training for staff. If one attended a training, say 3 years back in 2022, does it still work?
Okay.
Yes. We can first answer those questions before we go to the next question. Yes.
Thank you so much. I will answer the first one, and then Judith will answer the second one.
Yes.
Would a company with many subsidiaries
Qualify to be
qualify
licensed?
Of course, if you fit in within the conditions, if you're not a new company, because this year we are not allowing new companies. So definitely, if you have so many subsidiaries, but you're a new company, being a new company will definitely disqualify you from applying for 2026. However, if you're an old company, but you have branches dealing with clearing, actually we have many. They have different offices at the border, at Motokula, at the airport, and it's still SIVA, it's still Philo, some company, no global logistics. That is allowed. There is nothing in the law that is prohibiting you from having subsidiary or branches, and even actually a company, as long as the objectives and your constitution allows you to do any other business, you can do any other business. Apart from, if you're dealing in clearing, you do clearing, but you can do agriculture because it's not related to clearing. So yes, I would say you can have any other business that is not connected to clearing. However, if you're new, you will not. That's the ban on new companies will probably ban you for this year. And if you have subsidiaries which are dealing in customs, like branches in different border posts, and still one company under one company, I believe that's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Evelyn, for that clarification. So, Judith, kindly clarify on the timeline for the trainings.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Yeah. I think the question was that if he had a certificate or he trained in 2022. Yes, if he trained in 2022 and he has a certificate, it works well. Yeah. Maybe what he needs to distinguish, is it the training or the competence test? Because some of them take the competence test to be a training. It is not a training. It is just a qualification for activation in the customs systems. You see, so if he did the test in 2022, then he would be required to do it again this year. But from next year, they will be required to do the continuous professional development courses. So the competence test exam will stop this year. If he last did it in 2022, he has to do it again. If he's talking about a clearing certificate, let him attach it onto his application for the license. It works very well. That is okay.
All right, thank you. There you go, Rogers. I hope the ladies have ably answered your questions. The next person is Pamela Choncho. Hello, URA team. As per your guidelines, applications are effective September 1st, but the system period still appears as 2025, which therefore causes error that the application is already in your system. Kindly guide on when we can officially start applying for the 2026 licenses.
Thank you so much, Pamela. This is some of the feedback that we need from you. And if we are going to have this checked out after this webinar, if indeed it shouldn't appear the way it is, because we should be in 2020. So that must be a technical or an IT issue, and it will be resolved as soon as. Thank you for the feedback, Pamela. We'll take a note of it.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you. There's Amumpire Brighton. His concern is on the IFRS registration. What happens to companies that do not meet the threshold for registering for IFRS? Yes, that is his question.
Who is that?
Yes?
Who is that?
Amumpire Brighton.
Thank you so much, Brighton. On IFRS registration, what advise our clients or the clearing agents? Kindly go to your DT office, the nearest DT office, and where you've been filing returns, and then you find out on the requirements and the conditions you need. But all I know, you need to be registered for IFRS. But this is not done by Refunds and Reconciliation. This is done by your DT, Domestic Tax Office, where you've been filing returns. So kindly go there and inquire more on it. They are ready for you and give you more information on that. Thank you.
Okay. I believe this is more of a clarification. This anonymous attendee requests that you please talk about a company that has been dealing in gas, but would like to venture into clearing. Yes. They've been dealing in oil and gas, and now they'd like to venture into clearing. Are they new? No. The person emphasizes old company, but would like to venture into the clearing industry. So I think that goes back to clarification on the old vis-a-vis the new.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Jackie. If the company was previously licensed as for clearing and forwarding and maybe did not utilize their license, because there are those who come in, they take the option of clearing and forwarding, but they do not use their license. If they've had a previous license, then this year they will apply as a renewal, a company which is renewing their previous license. But however old the company is and they do not have a license, meaning that in the system they will be applying as a new company, then for this year 2026 they will not be able to apply. Yes. So it only applies to those who have had previous licenses, because it clearly states once they will log in, they will be required to put in their previous license number. So it is a requirement that they have to have had a license before. So if they do not have a clearing license before, they will not be able to apply.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that clarification, and thank you very much for a very enlightening conversation this morning. Also, thank you for being a very good and active audience. We would like to sign out right now from our all-female panel. I've been joined by Judith Sechito and Evelyn Akol from the Trade Division, and this was the Customs 101. I wish you